Speaking of awareness, over this past week or so, a few days, the best way that I can think of it is, as Kim said yesterday, it feels like waking up from waking up. It was like illuminated to me how much literally every single aspect of my identity that was active in ordinary worldly life subtly reasserted itself in my spiritual life over the past few years. Literally every single thing, from subtle envy and satsang, as we were discussing, or, accumulating spiritual knowledge and spiritual books and only wanting to have spiritual conversation and listen to spiritual music and chant kirtan. Like, not that these are bad things, they're all good things. And, go on this retreat and meet the spiritual teacher. But it's literally, I mean, I quite literally feel like I'm back at ground zero again, you know? It's, it's this whole week progressively every single day. I'm like, what? You know? Like what has been going on for the past few years? But it's interesting because the where the initial wake up experience felt quite exciting and invigorating, this feels like say you take a balloon and you untie the knot and you like gently you're letting the air out. This feels like a kind of just like a deflation with there's a frustration in it. There's a knowledge that like, okay, I'm seeing this thing and this is necessary. But there's a deflation in it and a frustration in it as well, because there's quite literally nowhere left to go. You know? Like there's nowhere left to go, you know? Even I think I mentioned this too, even like or meeting other seekers and hearing their spiritual story and sharing my spiritual story and like there's nowhere left to go. There's nowhere left to go. But I think the thing that's been kind of baffling to me is that despite reading about these things and knowing that this would happen and seeing that it would happen and paying attention to it, that it just sort of somewhere in the back door crept in and asserted itself with a complete lack of recognition. I think that has been, for me this week, has been like, what? So I just felt to share that.
Thank you. This is important. This is what happens. We come as we are to the spiritual path. You know, it means the ego. Huh? So, but here's the difference. The ego is moving into the world, further and further into the world, further lost in the world. Ego keeps growing and growing and growing, suffers more victories, more failures. The ego is just growing, consuming the things of the world. The ego grows and grows and grows. And then it sees, it's not working. So a big ego turns around and begins to now tread the spiritual path, using all of its same habits, all of its same patterns. It comes with its personality and with everything that it is. But now what it consumes on the spiritual path, the ego will shrink and shrink and shrink. Shrink and shrink and shrink. Huh? And so all of the practices, all of the things, all of the spiritual moments and all of the mystical revelations, ego, wonderful. Huh? And then you see, and it's as if the air is let out of the balloon. What now? The ego is driven by ambition. The ego is driven by attraction and aversion, whether it's navigating towards the world or away from the world. It is always driven by attraction and aversion. Then you come to the intersection. And so the ego of the world had a little costume change. Now it's the ego in the spiritual ego. Now you're seeing no costume. The death of ambition, the death of pretending, the death of self-improvement. Will it also be the death of the seeker? What do you need to do to be what you already are? What do you need to attain to be who you are? What do you need to learn to be what you already are? Where do you look? Where can you go? Truly, be with me now. Where can you go to see who you are? What qualification do you need? What qualification do you lack to be what you are? When the air is let out, you give your life to life itself. What you call my life is consumed in life. From here, is there something you still need to figure out? Some understanding you lack? Some problem to solve? This nothing, is it lacking? Confused? Is it, I don't know what to say? No.